Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Welcome back. You're watching the Kaiser Report. I'm John, and I'm here with Kaiser, coming to you with a few tidbits of news that is going on this morning. Let's start with the major concern over the sightings of drone after drone over Staten Island, New Jersey, and parts of New York that are of great concern to people that believe that the government is now telling them nothing about what really is going on. There's been several stories leaked out of the White House, some saying that, well, they're legal and the FAA knows about it, and it is us that's doing it, but no one wants to come up and tell us why, what, where, and when. So we're in the dark, and they continue to make up stories about what's going on when we have great concern by the population and some of the governors in the states where these are being cited. And mind you, as I told you yesterday, it's not just this area that is being sighting these drones at all times of the night. And it's happening out west, it's happening in the Midwest, and it's happening very close to, let's just look at New Jersey, where you have Nat Earl, you have Fort Dix, McGuire Air Force Base, Lakehurst Naval Air Station, and several other buildings of importance to our military strategies that these things are flying over, around, and doing what? If it is our military, fess up and tell us this so we don't have to sit and listen to any more of this nonsense. I'm sure you all are aware of the Wisconsin problems with the shooter that went into a school, and as in this case was a 15 or 16-year-old young lady that was left a manifesto about feminism and went into a school, killed a teacher, and I believe wounded several, and 3 died. So we have that to look forward to for the next news cycle, because they are going crazy about gun control. And then we have senators and a president that is half there coming out and telling us we need to ban assault weapons when this attack was used by, or have this young lady used a handgun, not an assault weapon, to do this. So I don't know where they come out with this and why they continually think that a ban on assault weapons, which we don't understand, they don't understand that the weapons that they're talking about are military-grade weapons, and the only ones that are running around with fully automatic weapons in this country right now are the illegals that they let in during the open border situation, and these are gang members that are well entrenched in our country right now, and hopefully Mr. Holman will see to their exit very soon. It's amazing how they get things wrong in government almost always. And the fact that now Biden is doing an executive order that they can remain staying at home for the next 5 years. They don't have to come into an office, and so on and so on. It's delusional to even try to understand what goes on in the minds of the existing president and his cabinet right now, who are doing everything possible to put stumbling blocks in the way of what he said would be an easy and peaceful transition. And then you have Jamie Raskin running around mouthing about that the Florida count was off and that the people who certified the election weren't certified to do that, And well, here, take a look for yourself.
Bondi, again, we're just piecing together the details now, but she's somebody who's been a very loyal Trump partisan, including on election denialism. So she's gone on TV to echo election denialist claims. She has made false allegations about cheating in the 2020 presidential election, which still they adhere to, even though, we have 60 federal and state court decisions rejecting all of their fraudulent claims. Gone on TV to echo election denialist claims.
What, you think that's funny?
What purpose does the member rise?
I have an objection because 10 of the 29 electoral votes cast by Florida were cast by electors not lawfully certified because they violated Florida's prohibition against dual office holding.
Debate is out of order.
Including on election denialism.
And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress. So it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody and civil war conditions. All because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job.
What's the matter, Hank? Afraid to pick on someone your own size?
Are you okay? What happened?
That was dirty. All right. Come on. Where are you? Where are you? Here I am. Oh, you bastard.
Stop it! You're gonna kill him!
But these people are sick people. These are people that I think they hate our country. You want to know the truth?
This guy is trouble. He was a louse during the questioning of several appointees to the Supreme Court, and he continues to be a loudmouth and an interrupter in every committee meeting that he sits in, with no backing to what he has to say. It's just same old, same old. And then he has people that go along with his tirades, and the only one that seems to be able to put him in his seat is Marjorie Taylor Greene from time to time, and maybe one or two other senators that will shout him down and tell him he's out of order. He was born out of order, and he and Blumenthal, they shouldn't be there, as well as some of the other ones that we know shouldn't be there. But he is going to be a fly in the ointment for getting anybody approved, because he believes in his mind, as you just saw, that he's going to stop Donald Trump from taking his office. When do they learn? Speaking of when do they learn, I mean, Kamala Harris is back saying she's not going anywhere and that she's going to continue to fight and do the work that she thinks that she has done in the past 4 years. Well, now she wants to do the work and keep people riled up, and with the thought that she is going to just hang out in Washington and make things difficult. I don't know if that will work or not, but, well, here, take a look at this.
Okay, I can first.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Happy holidays, and thank you all.
Happy holidays.
You know, we're getting near that beautiful Christmas season that people don't talk about anymore. They don't use the word Christmas because it's not politically correct. You go to department stores and they'll say Happy New Year, and they'll say other things, and it'll be red. They'll have it painted, but they don't say, well, guess what? We're saying Merry Christmas again.
Hell yes.
That spirit, the spirit with which we do our work, and hear me when I say this, that spirit that fuels the countless hours and days and months of work that you have put into this, that spirit can never be defeated. Our spirit is not defeated. We are not defeated. Let's be clear about that.
Really?
Democrats now grappling with their stunning loss and trying to figure out what went wrong.
Michigan stays the way it is. Arizona stays the way it is. Nevada stays the way it is. You're at 312. That's an electoral landslide, as they say, okay?
Trump's more or less landslide victory, I think you could call it at this point.
As this increasingly becomes a Trump massive landslide victory for the Republicans.
That spirit can never be defeated.
This is I've got to say, this is the biggest red wave I've seen since Ronald Reagan's 49-state victory in 1984.
Trump, however, did win every single battleground state.
I was surprised at how lopsided it was. I was not surprised by the outcome.
Not just Donald Trump winning the election, but winning the popular vote. First time in 2 decades for a Republican.
Well, one thing that is clear is the results showed that most of the polls were wrong.
Misogyny, racism, and xenophobia.
And what stood out to us was this idea that staffers were telling you that this campaign was, quote, broken since the beginning.
You're hurting. I hear you and I see you.
Her stepdaughter, Gen Z fashion influencer Ella Emhoff, was photographed in tears. We are all going to get through this. It just blank hurts like a blank right now.
We are not
defeated.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that bullshit.
When do they learn is what I'd like to know. When do they get the idea that people have voted against her platform and went with Donald Trump? She has lost the election. She never should have been running, but the design by Obama and Pelosi to get rid of Joe because he was an embarrassment and appoint her without a single vote, without a primary, without any reasoning at all, put her in as the running candidate for president of the United States, full well knowing that in their party they had other people that should have been the candidates, or at least had a primary to see what the voting Democrat population really considered a good candidate. It just doesn't get any better, but it's a Christmas season, and we all know what Christmas means to most Christians in the United States and around the world today. It's going to be a beautiful coming week, and we need to keep in our hearts the true meaning of Christmas and celebrate that the fact that the election is over, there's already been progress being made by the incoming president-elect that has been working since the election stopped and he won on making the world a better place and this country back on track to be what it used to be, because the economy right now is disastrous. And if Powell comes out today or tomorrow with another rate cut, although he's been warned that it will increase inflation, that's another stumbling block in the efforts being put forth by the incoming administration that knows how to fix things and has the plan to fix things. Whether or not Powell is just going to do this because he's been instructed to do it by this administration that's currently in power, or he's just being an obstinate person. I was almost said something that wasn't kosher, but anyway, Christmas week is upon us, and we're coming to a time in the course of the year, the end of this year, going into 2025 with great hope and great wants and needs for this country to survive and to prop up and reinstitute the Constitution as it was written and get the people back to work, back to prosperity, and back to good, reasonable pricing on not only groceries and gasoline, but we're going to take a look at what the pharmaceutical companies are doing and what the middleman between the pharmacies and the manufacturers are gouging in pricing on the drugs that you need to stay healthy and, in some cases, stay alive. And this is an important factor that they are going to be looking at in this new administration. And no, Bobby Kennedy is not an anti-vaccine person. He just wants to know from these manufacturers what the drawbacks are and allow you to make an informed decision on what you want to put in your body or not put in your body. And there is what Bobby is going to be doing. So they're all going through the Senate gauntlet to be questioned before the hearings for certification of the cabinet picks that Donald Trump has put forward. Whether or not they're going to be reasonable, we know the Democratic side is not going to go along with anything that Donald Trump comes up with. And then we have the rhinos that are sitting there. I don't know whether they're scared of somebody finding something out or why they're fighting against this, but these people need to be primaried, and there's no doubt in my mind that that should happen. But whether or not it will, that's another story for another report that we're going to be looking at. So until we know better on what they're going to do and the questions asked, we'll figure that out as we go. But not a lot going on other than the fact that there is discussions taking place with Netanyahu and Donald Trump. Donald Trump did a presser yesterday, which was a lengthy presser, which he is noted for doing in his last term, and will continue to do it. This is more of a look-see into behind the curtain that we never got out of the Biden-Harris administration. Not one time did he get up on a podium and give you a state of where the country is and what they're doing to make it better or to fix a problem in this country. And we've got that going for us, and he hasn't even taken the oath yet. So that's a good thing to look forward to. We'll be more informed, and things will be more transparent as we go into this administration further after his inauguration. Questions were asked by the reporters yesterday about, people coming, other heads of state that have been invited, and Donald Trump quickly pointed out to them that they are calling him, asking for tickets to the inauguration, that he has invited Xi Jinping, and the rest have been calling. He said there's a lot of heads of state, some that he's not met, that he's looking forward to seeing there. So we'll see. We have a handful of Democrats that have already voiced their opinion about not going to the inauguration. So what? They just show the American people how obstinate and how against our own people and what their wishes are. And these people should be primaried before anyone else. And remember that when we come up with the interim elections that will take place, primary these people and get them out. They're not doing any good for you or me or anybody else that's a citizen of this country. They care more about the non-citizens that are here illegally than they do about you, me, or any other person who is a taxpayer in this country and an elector in this country that put them in a job to do which they have not accomplished and refuse to go along with the law in some cases. So there's not a whole lot more going on other than the economy is starting to loosen up a little bit. The stock market, they forecast on, I listened to someone with Maria Bartiromo this morning who indicated that by the first of the year that they expect a big sell-off in the stock market. So if that's true, we're telling you about this only because you may want to look into that and be aware of what's going on if you're heavily invested in the stock market. But you should view it as, if it does happen, a time to buy into the stock market when it's down. You'd never buy high. You have to buy low, sell high. I am not a financial advisor, and I'm not telling you anything but what I've heard about a potential sell-off come the first of the year, probably right before the inauguration or the certification of the ballots on the 6th of January. So we'll see what goes on with the stock market as we go. It was down. Futures were down this morning. I expect that they'll probably pop back up again today. And gold is doing well. Silver is doing well from what I've seen. And the world and the country are a little happier since the election here. It has affected things overseas as well as it has in this country. And in this country, people seem to be a little happier, except those who've lost their minds, especially these actors that just can't accept the election results, such as De Niro. Well, here, take a look.
These people are crazy.
He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has. He's such a mean, nasty, hateful person. I never play him as an actor because I can't see any good in him. Nothing.
Under Trump, this kind of government will perish from the earth. I don't mean to scare you. No, wait, maybe I do mean to scare you. If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms Goodbye.
But it would be chaos beyond our imagination. I'd like to punch him in the face. If he gets elected, it's going to change this country for everybody. And they might think that it's going to make their life better, or they just want to, excuse my French, they just want to with the rest of the country. Literally. I'm going to say one thing, Trump. We have no choice. If you care about this country, you care about sanity, you have to vote for her. If he wins the election, you won't be on the show anymore. He'll come looking for me. There'll be things that happen that none of us can imagine. Ooh, so exciting. And it's scary.
Wake up.
He's done everything. What more do you need? It's almost like he wants to do the worst that he could possibly do to show this country, to with us. He's got to be stopped.
What do you say to those who say, I don't like the guy, but I'm going to vote for him? What's your message to them?
I don't understand it. I don't think they understand how dangerous it will be if he ever, God forbid, becomes president.
It is now official. CNN projects that Donald Trump has been elected president, defeating Vice President Kamala Harris and making a political comeback unlike any in modern American politics.
Well, thank you very much. This is a very nice gathering. Isn't it nice to win? It's nice to win. It's always nice to win.
I can believe it. I can't fuck it.
The man has gone round the bend, and why, we don't understand. But it's a career ender for some. And the fact that Hollywood itself is just so enamored by the Democratic side that if you're a Hollywood actor, you have to be careful of what you say, because if you lean one way away from where they're telling you have to be, you're in danger of being blackballed or not hired, and so on and so on. And De Niro, who has made some marvelous movies in his life and portrayed people, even in a comedic role, has always been liked. And why he has lost his mind over Donald Trump is beyond me. Maybe he has a personal reason, but to put that out to his fans, I think he's turned a lot of people away from his potential future films and so forth. Of course, you have a lot of other Hollywood types that are not happy about this. Rosie O'Donnell has lost her mind. And there's a list of people that can't accept. But they will accept the good changes that are brought about by these people and say nothing about it. When they find out that what they're saying is not true, they will not redact or come back and apologize for being wrong and nasty and hateful. You don't hear the apologies, you just hear the rants. But that too will dissipate along with the dying off of some of the wokeness that has embraced Hollywood and has embraced the Democratic Party, and such as Tim Walz and all of the people that are of woke nature that tried to destroy this country is what they did. Hands down, that's the truth. And we know it now because things are coming to light and coming out about what people like Sean Hannity and Joe Rogan and people of that nature have told us time and time again. And now it's coming out and becoming part of the mainstream thinking of this country. But the mainstream media has still not gotten the message from the voters in this country and continue to fabricate things that are, in some cases, not true. I mean, look at Stephanopoulos. It cost him $15 million just so he could lie and say somebody was a rapist, which was not true. And there'll be others in mainstream media that are going to take the fall for some of the lies and the mistruths that they spread all through this 4 years of building up to try and stop a steamroller called Donald J. Trump. And he has miraculously shown what can be unburdened by the past. So I hope you're all considering getting ready for the rebirth of this country and the rebirth of Jesus Christ, the baby Jesus, that's going to be celebrated here on the 25th of December. And I'd like you all to stop and say a prayer for our new government officials and our new president that is incoming, that he's protected, because I have a fear that there is still hate-driven ideology being pushed down the throats of some people in the United States that may do something nefarious or make another attempt on the incoming president's life. So we must pray for his protection, and we must pray for the turning back to God in this country, and pray every day that we don't lose the ability to recognize that Jesus and the Father are in our hearts and in our country, and we need to welcome them into our own hearts and make sure that they do not get driven back down by the ugliness that had taken place in this country in an effort to rid us of "In God We Trust." We do trust, and we do love our God. We do love our Bibles, and we do love our guns. And we have a president that recognizes that, and I think recognizes the fact that his life was spared to do the job that he is getting ready to do for each and every one in this country, regardless of whether or not you voted Republican, Democrat, or Independent. He's going to treat us all the same. The children of this country, the children of God that we are, will be much better off than we have been in the last 4 years. So, hallelujah, it is Christmas, and we are going to have a very happy and blessed Christmas, and I wish the same for all of you out there. And thanks for tuning in to the Kaiser Report today. We'll be back to you tomorrow with more news as it happens, and some probably funny memes that'll pop up that I can put together for you for tomorrow's broadcast. And until tomorrow, stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report for your happenings, amusement, and maybe a look at some towns in Appalachia from time to time. God bless. Bye-bye.